Welcome to Daily Conversation. This is Mr. K.
This is Eric.
Yeah, today is the 2nd of December 2021, and the time now is 6:16 a.m. Well, today our topic is discuss the endowment effect. Well, before we get started, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so here we go. Yeah, the endowment effect. Firstly, it is um, quite funny. Yeah, and then for this one, there are also many kind of like many theories talking about the reason of endowment effect in the link that you share with me. And then basically this is something like after we own something, and then we are not so willing to give up the things that we own. And then uh some of the example here is like let's say you go to the shop, and then you see something, and then maybe you think it is a bit maybe out of your budget, and you think it is quite expensive, and you just don't buy it. And then maybe after that, the seller tell you that you can just uh, take it, and then uh, we give you something like maybe 30 days trials, and then you can just try it, and if you are not satisfied with it, and you can just like send it back. Yeah, and we won't charge you, something like that, or maybe we give you a refund. Yeah, and in that case, if this guy accept the offer and then use it, and you found that people are sometimes they just accept it. They don't want to give up. Yeah, so for here it is quite interesting because we have the term like WTP and WTA. For WTP, which is the willingness to pay, yeah, and then WTA is the willingness to accept. Yeah, so actually in the example just now, the seller is very wise. I mean, this marketing strategy, uh, they are trying to switch the uh, the willingness to pay to willingness to accept. I mean, the buyer's one. Firstly, the buyer think it is expensive, and the willingness to pay uh, is actually lower. Yeah, so they are willing to use a lower price to buy something, so they don't buy. And after that, the seller use some techniques, and then change it to the willingness to accept. The willingness to accept is something like how much will you be willing to accept giving up something that you own. So in that case, once you use it, maybe you feel like you own the thing, and then uh, you are when you want to give up the thing, and then actually you will have a higher WTA, which is the uh, higher willingness to accept. Yeah, so in that case, you don't want to sell it anymore. Yeah, because you think if you want to give up, and then you have to get more compensation, something like that. So in that case, maybe you can rationalize the price that you pay uh, at the first instance. Yep, and um, yeah, also I can see there is something which is the theory of loss aversion, which is like we don't like the feeling of losing something, and then we will treat this something like it weigh more than the gain. Yeah, for example, losing 1 ringgit is more than uh, 1 ringgit gain. And then yeah, there is a part also uh, I see in the title of psychological inertia, which is also in the link that you share with me. And then there is a part says that uh, we have a higher uh, higher price for the willingness to accept to give up is because that only if we get more money, then this will give us a meaningful incentive to sell, which means that uh, if let's say there is a thing, you own it, and then the market price is 5 ringgit, and then if somebody asks you to sell it for 5 ringgit, maybe you don't want to sell it because the incentive is low. The meaningful incentive is low. You can just keep it. You don't have to sell it. But if the price increase to higher than 5 ringgit, like 6 or 7 ringgit, only by this it generate the meaningful incentive for you to sell it. And for buying things also the same. Let's say the things is maybe 5 ringgit, and then uh, the market price is 5 ringgit, and then you won't find a meaningful incentive to buy it at the market price. But when it is lower than the market price, and you will uh, have the so-called meaningful incentive to buy. And for this one, I can think of some example like when there is some promotion, let's say the coming one, which is the 12/12, yeah, the 12/12 promotion, and then maybe someone that when he was doing online shopping, and maybe also in on his mind, he doesn't have anything wanted to buy, but when he saw the promotion, maybe of those things is sold in a at a discounted price, and then this actually generate a meaningful incentive for him to buy. Yeah, even though firstly he doesn't want to buy these things. He doesn't have the intention. Yeah. So yep. So I think these are my sharing today.
Yeah. Just want to give a very good example. Is uh, the seller try to hand you the product first and give you a period to try the product, and then after that, maybe after 30 days, if you don't want the product,
Mm,
then you can return to me. Or some others, or some other, for example, tuition center will also free the first month, free the first month tuition tuition fee, and then you just send your child come to our center, and then
mm,
the first one will be free, and you can test. Yeah, if it's good, then uh then you can continue. Yeah, and if you don't want to continue, then you can leave. Yeah, so it's a good strategy. And also, in my knowledge, I know that some accounting firms also doing thing like this. For example, the first 6 months or the first quarter, mm, the accounting firm help the client do the account for free.
mm,
Yeah, and after if the client don't want to continue, and then he can change other uh, uh, the company can change to other accounting firm. Yeah,
mm.
and yeah, but do you think it is still very effective nowadays? And in what circumstances will be more effective? In what circumstances which is not?
Mm. Yeah, for this one, I think it also deals with one of the things we call the switching cost,
Yes.
whether the alternatives is available and is kind of like conveniently you can just switch to the others and don't have many things. For example, if you use the products and then you switch to another products, and let's say if the alternative products is kind of uh, different from the one that you previously used, then they will have more uncertainty. And nowadays, I think many things, many products and services, the switching cost isn't that high anymore, and we have so many other alternatives, and then so that maybe I think the competitiveness or the availability of alternatives can affect this.
And uh mm, uh what are those factors that affect the switching costs?
Um, for switching costs, um,
For example, size of the product, weight of the
size,
product.
um, weight of the product. I think is maybe uh, um, maybe is the also one of the factor is the time for you to get used to the products, the time for you to uh, uh, yeah the first one is the time for you to get used to a new products. Let's say if you firstly you use uh, the the online banking system, let's say from bank A, and then if you want to switch to bank B, the online banking system, they are different. So maybe you need to spend time to get used to the other uh, the other new system. Yeah, you have to learn, you have to face some uncertainty, and then it's maybe inconvenient for you uh, for the transition time.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Uh,
some others may also have more cost for them. Let's say uh, um, they maybe they have already invest their time in this service, and then when switching to the others, maybe he need to uh, invest also some more time to do that. Uh, for example, the online banking one, maybe you have done you have made some favorite account so that you can do it just very easily for the those called the return customer or return uh, 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 a seller, and then when you switch to a new one, you have to redo all the things.
yeah. But okay, but when talk about the banking account, if the bank offer you 50 ringgits to switch to another bank,
Hmm.
you just switch.
Um, I think yeah, actually I would consider to switch it because 50 ringgit is giving me a meaningful incentive to do.
Mm. Mm. And
Yeah.
yeah, and uh, but but you need to go to the bank and then reapply the bank account, and then you need to apply the online banking, and
Mm,
you will get a new card.
mm,
And yeah, you need to activate your online banking. You need to activate your debit cards. All of that thing
mm,
you need to be done in order to get a new bank account, and it may cost you like 1 to 1.5 hours because you need
mm,
to travel to the bank and you need to proceed the 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 thing.
mm,
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
still works?
Yeah, I think maybe I have bias here because for me, I last month I found that my debit card has been charged without my authorization, and then I don't even know what is that for, and it's shown on my bank statement like some Google service, and then I also try to contact the bank, and then they say uh, I have to look for Google, and then I call Google, and then they say they will investigate. But after that, they say they couldn't give me a refund, and uh, actually, I think this is because of some scammer. Because previously maybe I use my uh, debit card numbers, and I use my debit card to buy something. So I key in maybe the information, and some scammer get my information and then charge me secretly. So for this one, the bank tell me that if you want to stop these kind of things happen again, I have to go to the bank and then like do some cancellation of the card and then to reissue one. So maybe in my situation right now, if I taken this into account, I have to buy it. So I think um, yeah, really, if I don't have these bias, maybe 50 ringgit I need to consider.
Mm. Yeah, and also many bank actually offer the free credit cards, right?
Mm-mm.
Mm. Yeah, and
Yeah.
also they give you uh some 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 rewards, some benefits to use their credit cards. And
Mm,
not many people want to take a credit card. Yeah,
mm,
and and you seldom will see people have like may have a lot of credit card. For example, maybe four, five, six like that. And
mm,
for a small amount of people, they will do that. They will keep changing the credit card company, and then because for the rewards, because uh for the for the benefit.
mm.
Yeah, and at the end, they sure will still stick with one or two credit card, or even none of them. They stick with the debit cards. Mm.
Mm,
Yeah, so this is something like uh okay, the first thing, if you don't have any mental cost to deal with this, and then you can switch it uh very easily. Yeah, this is the first thing. And the second thing is yeah, of course it take time to learn, to adapt it. But uh as long as you keep doing this, and then the adaptability will increase, and you will need lesser time to adapt it.
mm,
This is for those um, for some certain goods. But uh, s- in my opinion, there are some other factor affect the switching cost. One of it is,
mm,
for example, size of the product. For example, compare you buy a product, okay, and the seller give you 30 days to try.
mm.
This is a small product.
Yeah.
You can take it, yeah, to everywhere. And another is, let's say, the washing machine is big,
Mm,
and you couldn't move
yeah.
without the mover, without the delivery man.
Mm,
And it also give you 30 days to try. And and for the first product, the uh for the normal weight product, and if you don't want, and first you may call the company and ask their staff comes comes to you,
mm,
and then take a product. But maybe the seller will give you a lot of excuse,
mm,
and he couldn't like get the get product immediately. Yeah,
mm.
so if you
Yeah.
want you can send the product to your company. And also, yeah, because 1 month already passed, and yeah, and also you didn't inform us in advance, so that after 1 month the charge uh you need to pay. It's also same. It's also same for the washing machine. And then for this for the first product, yeah, you can take to the company. You can like
mm,
send it back. Or maybe use some like the okay, if the product is maybe, let's say, is less than 5 kg, and then you can mail it back. Yeah. So you can use some courier service to send it back.
yeah,
Yeah. And how about a washing machine? You can't do that. And the
mm,
cost is much higher.
yeah,
So the switching cost is higher actually.
mm,
Mm.
yeah, and you have to do some uh because firstly when we buy the washing machine we have to install it, right? And if you want to
Yeah.
send it back you have to do the works like uh, uh um to to um dis disassemble them, and
Mm.
then only
Yeah.
then you can send it back, or maybe you have to put into the box or what. Yeah, it's inconvenient.
Yeah. Even though you can contact the delivery man and ask them to come, it also it also cause some inconvenience if the
Mm,
product is big. Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think the first is to serve the product, and yeah, and we got many, and time you already mentioned, and then and yeah, okay. For example, and also the third is also quite related to the first one, the size, but it is digital product versus non-digital product. Yeah. So for example, like uh the the Spotify, which is the music apps,
Mm,
and the company give you 30 days trial. Uh, and yeah, so you try, and then after 30 days, mm, if you don't want, you can go, you can unsubscribe. Yeah, but compared to, let's say, this is a music a music box, so it's physical one. So uh, it will be harder for you to kind of like return the product back. Yeah.
mm,
Uh,
yeah.
or to get the refunds. Yeah, some of the company will say like that. Yeah. They take the money from you first. Yeah, for example, the washing machine,
Mm,
or maybe like some product, one time purchase product, and you buy first, you pay the money first, and then after 30 days, if you don't want, you can come to us, and then we refund back to you. So the company
mm,
actually get the cash already. Mm,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So mm, and yeah, there are many things that they will affect the switching cost, and also the efforts you need to pay, the energy you need to pay. Yeah, even though for the Spotify, you need to like log in into your account and then find the buttons. Normally they hide the button.
Mm,
Yeah, and then you need to find how to unsubscribe it. Mm.
yeah.
And if you fail to unsubscribe, they will charge you.
Yeah, and I think there are two things to share here. And one is that some company they give you like 15 days trial or 30 days trials, and I think they are betting that you
Mm,
forget
mm,
uh,
yes.
to stop the service, and then
Mm,
even just 1 day late, and then they are successful to charge you, and then maybe you will wait maybe for another month and then to
yeah. And then
stop
you
the
forget
service.
again.
Mm. Yeah, and the other one is one of my experience. They say you can stop it anytime, and then they give you like free trials. But they actually require you to type in your debit card information, debit
Mm,
card numbers, name, and
mm,
then also obtain your authorization. So it means that
Yeah.
if you don't terminate it, and then you have to pay after the trials period. And
Mm.
what is more is they when I wanted to terminate the service, I found that there is not a button. There is a number. You have to call the call centers, ask them to help you to uh, unsubscribe the service. So they are
Mm.
so clever. And when I saw the number is not in Malaysia. It is like the region, the region call center.
Mm.
And when I
Mm.
call them, the person that get the call is like yeah, it's really like the native US speaker really, and they speak very fast and just like make you maybe like difficult to unsubscribe.
Mm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, this is about switching costs. And for this endowment effect, okay, in my opinion, this is not only about the switching costs. There are other factors that affect this.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
just now we also mentioned about the WTA willing to accept, and WTP willing
Hmm.
to pay. And in the Wikipedia link, and there's one formula which is like the why this endowment effect will occur, because uh, the minimum the minimum price you are willing to sell the things, which is the WTA willing to
Hmm.
uh
Going to accept
uh
to give up.
yeah, yeah, willing to accept to give up, and must be greater than the maximum price you are willing to buy the things,
Hmm.
which is you're willing to pay. Yeah,
Hmm.
and then the researchers found that after you get the after you have bought the product, maybe it's just a few minutes ago,
Hmm.
and you're less likely wants to sell the product. Yeah,
Yeah.
even though a higher price or at the same price. Yeah,
Hmm.
and so some reason I can think that, which is people will do rationalizations. The first, yeah, of course, some cost involved here. For example, when you are choosing to buy a product, you need to make decision whether you need to buy A or B, and after you buy, you think you have paid the effort, you think you are make the decision, and then after you try it, maybe you think, yeah, it's good, yeah, the product is okay,
Hmm.
within my expectation. So yeah, it also incurs some cost, which is you need to figure out what you get or what you buy. You need to figure out how to use. Yeah.
Hmm.
So you already invest the cost into it, into the
Hmm.
product. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if somebody want to exchange another different product, different class of product to you, and then you need to figure out again, you need to make the decision again. Yeah.
Hmm.
So you kind of like uh want some conversations to cover the cost of doing this. Yeah,
Hmm.
so this means the willing to accept to give up may be greater than the willing to pay. Yeah, for the
Hmm.
new product. Yeah,
Yeah.
and but what if this is something that you don't want? Yeah, you will very quickly want to exchange it to other people.
Hmm.
Yeah, for example, uh, I'm not sure whether you s- whether you heard some event on the Christmas in Western country. It is like uh everyone's need to like prepare one gift before going
Hmm.
to a Christmas party, and
Yeah.
then on the Christmas on the party, and people will simply pick the the product. Yeah, so that means you need to give somebody a gift.
Hmm.
Yeah, somebody will get your gift, and you will also get somebody gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but
Exchange.
yeah, but the thing you give may not be the thing other people want. Yeah, and also vice versa. And then after all, you open up uh, the product, and some
Hmm.
some of them will realize, oh, you don't want this product, I also don't want this product. We can exchange. Yeah, something like that. So it didn't develop any endowment effect. Mm. So I think endowment effect will occur uh uh will be effective for some of the product. Yeah, especially the product you want. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you think like this, if this is a product you want, why you want to sell, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And also, if this is the product you don't want, and why don't we sell?
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. So and also this is the first point, and the second point is about the arbitrage. Let's say, for example, you are doing a business, you don't care about any endowment effect, you won't have this kind of feeling. You buy the product is because you want to sell the product in order to earn the arbitrage, in order to earn the margin or earn the profits from it. Yeah. So if you take a lot of times, let's say like a business, even though you are the individual, you do the same thing a lot of times, and you lose a sense to this. So the endowment effect won't affect you too much. Just
Mm,
like one example, the credit cards. Many people don't do that, but few of them keep doing that. Yeah,
mm,
because they have figured out how to do that. Mm.
mm.
And the endowment effect has no effective on them anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is the second thing. And yeah, but of course, we still can found this in for the beginners. And for example, like the investor, for example, uh, uh for for noise investors and don't have much experience, and when they start to buy the stock and they like to hold it, they like to grab it, and they don't want to sell the stock, maybe because they have done some research and they have paid in the time that they believe the company were doing well. Yeah. and up, and after the price keep dropping, let's say uh drop like 30 or 40%, and then
Mm,
you ask them, will you want to sell, and they'll say, I don't want to sell. The price dropped so much already, why I want to sell? Yeah, if I
mm,
sell, I will suffer loss. And then,
mm.
but
Maybe
what
they buy
if
more.
okay, yeah, it could be, but something I want to mention here is, if you ask them, if you didn't buy this stock
Mm,
in the past, would you buy the stock at this price? They may say no. Yeah.
mm,
So it is that means the minimum you are willing to sell the thing, which the WTA
mm,
greater than the WTP willing to pay, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So that there has some there are some emotions, yeah, control you, which is the also some psychological bias, which is the endowment effect. Yeah.
Mm,
So yeah, by learning this endowment effect, we can think like the opposite way. Yeah. So just like my example, and if you are not willing to buy the thing at the current price, why you don't sell it? Mm,
mm,
yeah. What are you expecting? What is the reason you still keeping it? Yeah. If don't have any reason to keeping it, don't have a good reason, why don't you sell? Mm,
mm, yeah.
yeah. And so this is the second point. And the third point is, maybe we need to consider the nature of the goods. For example, how about the car? In our opinions, sorry, I mean, in our mind, we keep thinking the car is a depreciated goods.
Mm,
Yeah. So when we both eat, and then after some times, And when we want to sell, yeah, of course, nobody are willing to pay you the full price
Mm.
to buy the same vehicles. Yeah.
Yep.
Uh, but maybe the car is limited. Uh, it's kind of like limited uh versions, and yeah, people may pay you higher price. But when we talk about the standardized product, the normal car, and yeah, of course, nobody willing to pay you the money. And
Mm.
also for you, mm, you can accept to, if you really want to sell the thing, yeah, uh, you will accept to sell at a lower price. You wouldn't expect you can sell at the full price.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Of course, this is quite normal. But if you look at other product, let's say the house, after you bought a house, and after a few months you also want to sell, you also intend to sell the house.
Mm.
Will you expect higher price?
No,
Yeah. Huh? What it means? It
because
means
that is not a new one already, right? Do you mean buying the new house or second-hand house?
it doesn't matter. Yeah, but I mean mm, I mean people okay in my opinion, people will expect will expect a higher price in order to will expect a higher price if they want to give up the house.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, you mean
Because
that the house is something like appreciating, right?
yeah,
And car is the
appreciated,
opposite.
yeah, appreciated goods. And
Mm.
also, yeah, and also just like what I mentioned, um because you have done a lot of process, and then you need some cost, you need some extra price
Mm.
to
Yep.
cover your costs. For example, lawyer fees, stamp duty, all of these things. Yeah, yeah. Of course, the car you also the car you also need to pay you also need to pay a fee, right?
Mm.
Mm.
Yep.
When you want to do the ownership transfer or some other things, maybe you need to like uh check the car, or yeah, even though you want, yeah, yeah, or maybe you need to give commission to other people of these things.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. And so yeah, of course, this is when you really want to sell the product. And but if you don't want to sell the product, if you don't want to sell the product because of the switching cost, mm, yeah, the nature of goods will not affect it. Yeah, the nature of good will not affect the willingness to pay or willingness to give up. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And also third type of goods I can think of, which is if you purchase some goods which is self-making. Okay, for example, let's say mm, there are some workshop they allow you to go there, and then experience to do to do a mold, and to make some things by your
Mm.
own.
Right.
Yeah, for example, maybe do your own farming, or do your own like the build a cup, yeah, or build a
Mm.
boat of
Yeah.
all those things, or maybe like the drawing.
Mm.
Yeah, and it could be many things. Yeah,
Yep.
and yeah, you can make the product, you can self make the product, and after that you have experience of the things, and then the workshop say that yeah, you can take this, you can take this to back to your home, but you need to
Mm.
pay us some money because the material, yeah, the teaching, yeah, also involve cost.
Mm.
We need some income in order to keep running. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you are more willing to pay it because this
Mm.
is some self-made product. Of course, yeah, of course, if the thing is you don't want, yeah, you the 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 the, the
The
product you make is
craft. Yeah.
really really terrible. You yeah, of course you don't want that.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is also uh yeah. So the endowment effect will also affect by the nature of the goods. Yeah.
Mm.
And at the end, the last point I want to mention is eventually all of these things will come to value. And value is subjective. Some people are willing to sell the car at a lower price, but some people are not willing to sell the car at a higher price because they value the car
Mm.
at different price. Yeah.
Yep.
Some people will also sell the house at a lower price. This is because of their because in their opinion, when they get this money, they can do other things which can maybe earn more income, or maybe they can do some other thing which is maximize their happiness, maximize their well-being, maximize their benefits. Yeah, so they are willing to sell the house at a lower price. Yeah, so yeah, it actually at the end it comes to value, and people make decision based on value. Mm.
Mm.
So they judge uh, whether whether they want to buy or sell or don't do anything or do nothing. Yeah, based on based on their thinking, based on some reasons. Yeah, if they want to buy, so they must value the thing they are going to buy is higher than their money, uh their money value, the money they are going to pay. Otherwise, they won't buy the things.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. If they want to sell, they'll value that uh the value of the money that they sell the product is higher than the product itself.
Mm.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
So they decided to give up the products, right?
yeah, yes. Yeah. So that's all for my sharing for today.
Mm. Yeah. And actually, when you talk about those self-made nature of products, and
Mm,
suddenly one thing comes into my mind, but that isn't very self-made. I don't know which category it is. Uh, have you heard of? Let's say you go to the what's that? The aquarium, uh, aquarium
fishing.
world. No, I mean you can go and visit maybe the undersea
Mm,
uh undersea fish.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you go to those places, and then there are some staff there which they are responsible to take photos for the visitors. And before you check out the
Oh,
place,
yeah.
and they ask you whether
Mm,
you want to buy the photos, and the photos are really really expensive. And but it kinds of like people when they see their photos, they don't want to just make this like disappear. They don't want to lose it, right, when we see it.
yeah. But for me, because I don't like to take photos, and the photo to me is a burden, is a cost because I need to store the photo. Yeah,
Mm,
and my mother also had the same kind of feeling, so we will say no.
mm, yeah.
Yeah, normally with your family or you buy the photo.
um it okay, so let us assume that we couldn't use camera. Of course,
Mm,
we ourselves couldn't use our phone or camera to take picture. And let's say if we go to a place like museum, and then the museum is maybe the very famous one, or aquarium center which is very famous one, maybe I would consider to keep the photo, but maybe
yeah.
just keep one or two just for memory.
Yeah, but what if you can take photo?
Yeah, there's no point to spend the money.
Yeah, so there's a point.
Mm,
And yeah, even though you couldn't bring your, yeah, because it's impossible, right? And because they are operating business, they can't disallow people to bring their phones into into the place. Is it?
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, right.
If they try to do this, and they'll lose a lot of customers.
Mm, yeah.
And also another thing, if people really want to take photo, they will do it. Yeah. Why? Because we have some, for example, we have like the recording air a recording eyeglasses. So you wear
Mm,
the glasses which have this function. Yeah,
yeah.
and you can take photo, you can video, and nobody know. You even
Mm,
can record the voice, record the sound.
yeah.
Mm, yeah. And I think and also this kind of trick is not very effective already, right? Take a
Mm,
photo and want to sell you.
yeah.
And yeah, I think 90 maybe 80 to 90% of the photo will just be deleted. Mm.
Mm,
Mm. Yeah. Okay. So and also one last point.
yeah.
Let's say for a standardized product, if you want to utilize this endowment effect, what will you do? Because normally standardized product, let's say it also is a small product,
Mm,
and okay, let's say it is the let's say it's kind of like the what is this called uh the consumer product, and also it is like the uh consumption one. So it is like not the I couldn't keep using it. For example, let's say like the detergent.
shampoo. Oh, yeah.
Let's say like shampoo, let's say like body wash,
Mm,
and the company or the seller may give you some free sample, or
mm,
give you a pot, or give you a bottle, a small
yeah.
bottle to try it. Yeah. And yeah, and how can this company utilize this if they want to capture the endowment effect?
Mm,
Yeah,
um, mm,
yeah, but it is, yeah, and for s- for some uh for some MLM company, which is a company who use the MLM marketing, and then they use they use this kind of trick quite often. And why it works? Because uh the person who recommend you to use the product is your friends, or your family members, or your relatives. And
mm,
then after you try the product, yeah, maybe uh the company give you a big bottle, and then it say that, yeah, you can return me back, and no matter how much you use, it doesn't matter. And I
mm,
give you try 7 days, and after 7 days, if you don't want, you can bring the bottle back. You can bring the bottle back to us, or you can pass. Or your friend will tell you that, yeah, you can pass me back the bottle, and then
mm,
I will bring it back to the company,
mm,
and yeah, you get the refunds. Yeah,
yeah.
no matter how much you use. And at the beginning it worked. Yeah, it works. And but after sometimes the people know already. Yeah, because mm, it actually it actually quite hard. It actually increase the cost for you, because you want to kind of like reject your friend, and tell your friend, yeah, I don't want this product anymore. And then your friend definitely will ask you, why you don't want this product? Is there any something side effect or something hurt your skin? For example, like the body wash or shampoo hurt your hair. Is there any side
mm,
effect? And your coach you're saying no side effect, no side effect. Yeah, this is okay. But I just don't want this product is too expensive like that. And no,
mm,
it's good. The product is good. Like yeah, it's good for your hair, good for your body, and no
yeah.
chemical like that. And yeah, if you didn't pay the money first, yeah, if you didn't use or you didn't use the product first, and you are more confident to reject it. But
Yeah.
after you has but after you has used the product, yeah, after you have consumed other people's resources,
Mm,
time, energy to deliver this product to you, and uh, yeah, it's more difficult to reject it. Mm,
mm, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
people,
also yeah, you
yeah,
continue first.
people starts and also slowly start to realize that, and then they won't fall into this kind of trick anymore. Mm,
Mm, yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
just now I just want to say for those promoter that give you tester, maybe give you a cup of coffee to drink, and then also you face we discussed this before, right? You face the difficulty to reject them, uh, more or less you have the mental cost.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. So we can conclude that the endowment effect is actually try to incorporate the mental cost uh, and let you pay the money first in
Mm,
order to strengthen the effect. Yeah.
yeah.
Because after you pay the money, you will do rationalizations. Mm.
Mm, yes.
Okay. Anything want to add in?
No.
Okay. So that's all for today's conversations. How do you feel? Did you enjoy the conversations? Please tell us what you think of our conversation. And we are not native speakers. If found any vocal mistake we make, please also comment to let us know because we want to learn more and improve ourselves. Remember to like and subscribe to us. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.